Hey, it's Vandalyn Smith here with Living Benefits Wealth, where we discuss the life and life insurance. Today is September 30th, and it's the last day of September. Remember the song? There are 30 days in September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31. That's fine, except for February, which is 28 on leap year 29. Okay, had to get that out of there. I just wanted to say it. Okay, so welcome to the broadcast. Hey, so today is also the last day of the Life Insurance Awareness Month, but for me and many other agents, life insurance awareness never stops. So don't think that it's the end of hearing from me. So wanted to talk a little bit about policy reviews again. And the reason why I want to bring this up again is because I was doing some policy reviews this month, and I ran across a very interesting policy. And I want to say that it is important that if you have an older policy, say from, like I say, 1985, 86, 90, older policy, you want to make sure that you're reading the policy, or you're reading the communication information that you receive from your insurance company. Don't just take the statement and put it in the drawer and you don't read it. Because what happens with the older policies is that they might not have been structured. They may have been structured for how they were to perform back then. But in this day and time, and with the cost of insurance, there may need to be an additional premium added to that policy to keep the policy in force. So you want to make sure that your premiums are enough, that your premiums that you're paying each month is enough to keep your policy in force for the time frame that you have secure that policy for. So you may have a whole life policy. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because the policy that I was speaking about is a universal life policy. Universal life policies have gotten better over time. And that policy is still a good policy, but however, the way that it's performing, if the person keeps paying the same premiums that they've been paying since 1985, their policy will end up lapsing in the next 5 or 6 years. So you want to make sure that you look at your statements when you receive them from your insurance company, just to make sure they're not communicating that information to you, because they are supposed to let you know how long your policy is slated to last, and they give you pertinent information on those policy statements. So you just want to make sure that you're reviewing your policy statements and not just taking them and throwing them in the drawer. You want to make sure that your policy is still performing the way that you intend for it to perform. And so that's the reason why I say it's a good idea to have policy reviews on a regular basis. And that's one of the things that I do practice with my clients. I do, call them and just kind of go over the information about their policies. And then, of course, find out whether or not they have any things that need to be changed. Any people that were born into the family that they may need to cover or add to the policy. Sometimes it may be suffice to review the policy and trade it in for a new policy because the policy is no longer working. But that's all. Those things can be done. Policies can be converted. It just depends on what your situation is. But the point here is make sure that your policy is still performing the way that you intend for it to. Make sure that you're reading any communications that is coming from the insurance companies, and you're not just taking that information and throwing it in a drawer, because you don't want to make sure that, like I say, you don't want to get to the end where it's time to use the policy and, oh, this policy lapsed 5 years ago, or this policy lapsed 2 years ago. You want to get ahead of it and make sure that you're, doing something about it before it's too late. So With that being said, if you are not sure